I find it funny how many women claim that they don't want to have children until they find out I have a vasectomy. The entire reason I got a vasectomy was I kept dating women that thought they could change my mind. One almost did until she cheated, and I realized that if I did have children with her, they'd be calling someone else dad. So I got a vasectomy. Tired of women thinking they could change my mind. Now I date women that say they don't want children, but so far every single one has backed out once they learned that I really can't have children. Unfortunately, this has resulted in a dry spell of not getting laid, but at least I'm not wasting my time. I would rather have a dry spell than a kid. Haha. There is no dry spell greater than when you have children. Are you kidding me? I would love it, especially if a male partner that I'm dating already had or is planning a vasectomy. These women don't understand how lucky they are. Don't need to worry about those women then. The trash took itself out. Same, lol. Wish more snip guys were available. Yeah, they teach about contraceptives like condoms or birth control in sex ed, but I never heard anything about vasectomies. They are sure to expel the myth that you can't get pregnant the first time, or if you jump up and down after you can't get pregnant, etc. But they really should explain what vasectomies are and break some of the myths. Mine didn't hurt much at all. I guess I was lucky. But even the recovery was pretty much pain-free. But the freedom it provides is amazing. Don't get me wrong, condoms are still very necessary. But knowing there's no accident wanting to happen is amazing. I tell everyone I had one, both male and female, because most treat it as such a taboo subject that it shouldn't be. Your approach is the right one. Keep being upfront about it. It'll weed out the people who are fence-sitting or being dishonest about their intentions. When I met my current partner, he told me within a few dates that he'd had a vasectomy. It gave me a chance to really think about it, reflect, and affirm my stance on kids, which fortunately remained the same. No thanks. Lucky? Where'd you find him? LOL. Tinder! LOL. Yikes, I'll pass, LOL, but amazing that it worked out for you. Yup, being highly upfront about the vasectomy will probably very quickly weed out the mismatches. Most notably like those that think they can change your mind or quote-unquote baby trap you by having a birth control quote-unquote accident, or most of that crud. Still, it probably won't be 100%, but maybe quickly weed out or pre-filter out 80% or more of the mismatches on that. You may also have to quote-unquote manually weed out those that already have kids and just think you don't want to be making more kids. And there will always be those that lie or whatever, but those get filtered out sooner or later over their lies or dishonesty on that, or any of a host of other areas anyway. I have to thank Reddit for convincing me to finally get the V-snip done. I was reluctant to do so, not because wavering on ever having kids, just the potential downsides of the procedure itself, but Reddit horror stories convinced. I recall this woman I dated who was quote-unquote child-free. First date, we were mocking breeders. She broke up with me as, quote-unquote, I was really certain about not having kids, which made her reconsider her stance, end quote. Fast forward a few years and she's now wanting to have 3 kids with current BF. It baffles me how someone can go from quote-unquote child-free to quote-unquote just 3. Easy, they were never child-free, just no children now. I found out an ex just got a vasectomy. I briefly found him attractive again. That's quite a predicament. A man with a vasectomy is precisely what I'm looking for. It automatically makes him so much more appealing to me. I have the opposite problem where I can't seem to find a good man that either already has a vasectomy or plans on getting one, despite identifying as child-free. Rolling my eyes. Like if you're 100% sure you're child-free for life, why not make it easier for the both of us and get a vasectomy, right? Makes me feel like he's unsure and planning on changing his mind later, which makes him childless, not child-free. I'm at a point where I no longer date men without a vasectomy, or at least has a solid plan in place to get a vasectomy soon. I just think you're running into incompatible women. Being on a forum for this is a lot different than the real world, unfortunately. I live in the Los Angeles area where you'd expect this not to be such an issue, but it is. Oh, I 100% agree. The real world is rough for us child-free folk. I also live in a progressive major city where you'd think plenty of snipped child-free men roam around, but unfortunately that is not the case. I'd want proof. like papers or documents, before getting naked with someone saying that they have a vasectomy. In this world, you never know who can lie about it just for a Kinder surprise. Would that make me weird or creepy? Am I being paranoid? No, I've read loads of stories about women who get pregnant after their partner told them that they had the snip. Baby trapping goes both ways. That's messed up. I'm not even sure what paperwork I'd have on it. And even then, it would be some random thing that anyone could fake if they wanted to. So I guess other than with my wife, who was there when I got it done, it doesn't do me any good. LOL. Not that I'm exactly looking to date. One woman is plenty, more than plenty sometimes. No, not at all. I'd consider it similar to sharing an STI screen result. Sperm screenings are super cheap. I do one every couple of years just for the knowing. Regarding Kinder Surprise, that's the best term for an unplanned pregnancy I've seen. But Kinder tastes lots better and is enjoyable. Kinder Egg. Melts easily but tastes delicious. 9 out of 10. Toddler. Melts down easily and smells bad. 0 out of 10. I'm a child-free woman. They do exist and they won't back out on someone who is snipped. You're just dodging bullets left and right. Stick to your guns and keep shooting blanks. Sorry, couldn't help it with the bad puns, but seriously, we do exist. It just takes a little digging and good communication. Weave through the life scripters and you'll find a special kid-free lady. Happy hunting. This happens to women too. There are men who claim that they're okay with not having kids, but they're secretly hoping the woman will change her mind, and then they get mad when they realize that's not gonna happen. Also, I think it's great that you had a vasectomy. I've read so many stories of men who had an quote-unquote oopsie baby because their partner's birth control failed, and now they're stuck with a child they never want. And they're like, I hate my life now, I didn't want this baby, but she chose to keep it and now I'm trapped. I don't get those men. If they're so sure they don't want children, why the F didn't they get a vasectomy? I mean, if you don't want to get a vasectomy, then don't come complaining to the sub about how your partner quote-unquote trapped you. For freak's sake. Unfortunately, the last time I asked, the doctor said not until I had at least one kid and wasn't sure I didn't want my family to grow. I said, that's like only selling the safety to a gun after the person has at least shot themselves once. It doesn't make sense. So I'm going to a new doctor this week. It's been some years since then and this comment has really spurred me on. Check out the child-free friendly doctors list. I went straight to a urologist, no referral. Yep, definitely time for a new doctor. I'm a woman, but I'm looking for a bilateral salpingectomy, and it might actually happen soon, which I'm excited about. However, I feel like I'm going to have issues dating. Men seem interested in me despite my clear child-free stance on my dating profiles. I've had a few guys who claim they were child-free after seeing my bio, but for the most part, I think it's because they see me as someone they can either use for sex, or they think they're somehow special and will change my mind. I'm convinced no one actually reads my bio. I can already see my dating pool shrinking and I actually don't care at all. I'm just so happy and relieved that there's a good chance of me being sterilized by the end of the year. Definitely the quickest way to weed out the liars, because it prevents a scenario where they were hoping they could either wear you down over time or full-on baby trap you. Sorts out the wheat from the chaff at any rate. You do you. You'll surely find a woman who will be happy you had a vasectomy. My ex had it and I loved it. It stopped me from being paranoid that I'll get knocked up, and since abortion is illegal where I live, that would be a hassle. My partner had a vasectomy 10 years ago before I met him, and as a 100% child-free woman, it is an enormous relief and stress off of me to know that there is practically zero chance of an incidental pregnancy. The right woman will appreciate that you have taken the responsibility to take the bullets out of the gun, since it's so much harder and more risky, or has health consequences for a woman to get her tubes tied. I never realized how much the anxiety of a potential accidental pregnancy was affecting my ability to enjoy my sex life, and now I've experienced the freedom of being with a partner who had a vasectomy. I am never going to go back to dating men who haven't. You did the right thing, and it's helping you vet for women who say that they are child-free but really want to keep that option open, which aren't the women you want to be dating anyway.